All right. Good day, everybody. Thank you for joining us on yet another episode of the Destiny Education Future Forward Africans webinar. In today's session of the webinar, we have a phenomenal guest with us, and we're going to be having an interesting conversation today. It's about branding yourself for global opportunities. And our guest is Mr. Chinonso Atuegwu. He's a fish brand and communication professional with a proven record of shaping corporate identity, customer engagement, strategic growth within Nigeria banking and marketing landscape. As the head of branding and communications at SunTrust Bank Nigeria Limited, he oversees bank brand architecture, marketing strategy, and customer experience program, driving initiatives that strengthen visibility, trust, and stakeholder value. His expertise spans across brand management, corporate communications, media strategy, and integrated marketing. Mr. Chinonso is a certified marketing and communications professional. He holds multiple industry credentials, including certification in digital marketing, corporate reputation marketing, customer experience leadership. He is currently pursuing an MBA at the American Intercontinental University with a focus on leadership, innovation, and strategic management. He is driven by insight and purpose, and he continues to bridge creativity and strategy to bridge brand that inspires confidence and delivers. Mr. Chinoso, thank you so much for joining us today. It's such a delight to have you on the webinar today.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
Fantastic. So we're just definitely going to dive in right into the conversation. Uh, So my very first question as we start out the conversation today is many African professionals struggle to sort of position themselves for global opportunities, right? And from your branding experience, what is the first step in branding, like having like a personal brand that would attract, let's say, international opportunities? From your own experience, what would you say about that?
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. So, honestly, from where I sit, the thing is clarity. I can say clearly to you today that even people on this call, if you ask them, who are you? What do you do? They struggle.
Mm,
So you go to people's LinkedIn profile, you see, oh, I am a UI UX designer, I'm an entrepreneur, I am a pastor, all of that.
okay.
So if you're not clear about who you are and value you bring, trust me, nobody will bring that value to you. Nobody will do it for you locally or abroad. So a lot of people
Mm,
struggle. So I see people saying, no, on their LinkedIn profile, I see I'm a footballer. Maybe you're hoping the company you want to work for would participate in the bank and then you will now play for them. You're a banker, you're a customer experience executive, you're XYZ. So it starts with clarity. We need to know who you are first and what you do. What are your strengths and how do you do clarity? It's not easy actually to drive clarity. First of all, define your core strengths. What is that thing you do that people compliment you for every single time? Being a jack of all trades will not work anymore. It doesn't work in today's world. You need to be able to define your strengths. You need to be able to
okay.
craft a simple brand statement. This statement is able to say who you are, to the value you offer. I'll use myself as an example. My statement is I'm a marketing communications professional obsessed with data and storytelling and numbers.
Mm,
These three things are just, if you look at the way I've crafted it, everything I do around my work aligns with it. I love to
yeah.
tell stories, I love data, and I'm obsessed with results. So it's a brand statement. So people need to be able to craft a brand statement, simple statements. It can't be complicated. It would guide you on your journey. Then the second thing I ask people to also do is you go to people's bio, you see that oh they've done five jobs and they are still on the job they did 2020. A lot of bios, a lot of boom links. People need to start refreshing their pictures because people don't look like what they represent on LinkedIn at the moment. So you need to do a digital cleanup.
Mm.
And then you also need to do some global benchmarking. So you know what you want to be, you know who you want to look like, you know the professionals you want to model after. What are they doing? You need to study how they present themselves and then follow the same line because really you're talking about global positioning here. You have to also benchmark yourself globally. Then there's also the place of auditing your online presence. What I do most times, I'm obsessed with doing this, is that I Google myself. I go on Google and I type my name and I see what people see about me. That's what matters. A lot of people don't think so. We feel we in our small spaces, we feel we have covered everything. But when you place your name on Google and see what everybody sees, that is what the global employer is saying, even the local one. So you need to do this.
Mm.
And then when you do it, you just need to clean up. So
Mm.
finally, for me, is that a lot of people do a lot of work and they don't show it.
Okay.
You know, most times in the Nigerian context, we feel that, oh, if you're doing too much, you're showing yourself, people will say you're doing too much.
Mm-hmm.
Visibility is not, I will never be bragging.
Wow.
It is simple evidence. You need to show evidence of what you've done. Like in local parlance, we say show working.
Mm.
So people need to, so I think you need to go this route, define your strengths, craft your statement, do an audit of yourself, what you look like online, follow people globally who you want to model after, audit your online presence, and then show working. Show working. I want to go local here. Show working. Visibility is not bragging. If you've done anything good, please show it. Don't put it on the table because a lot of people will not come to your room or call you on the phone. People are searching for professionals like you. So if you're not visible online, really nobody will see you. So I think these first steps are what I think anybody who is serious about building a global facing brand by themselves will do.
Wow. Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that. I like how you talked about that. It all starts with clarity and then being able to articulate your value, like your value proposition. You know, you have to be able to show evidence of the work that you've done. Even if it's in different areas, there should be a trace to you that you've done that thing. And so just to further just touch more on that, my next question is the job market today is sort of borderless, right? And how can African professionals then communicate that value that they have in a way that is appealing to the international market? Because I want to believe that the like languaging that is sort of useful or relevant in the African context, in some global context, might not be sort of relevant, right? Maybe in Nigeria, you might
Yeah.
say, "Oh, I work in customer service." Maybe you are trying to apply for something in the US, you might want to say, "Oh, I work in customer experience." Like so what's like the appropriate languaging that would be useful for a professional to sort of communicate their value in a way that it resonates with the global employer or the global market?
Yeah, okay. So what I want to start with is that global employers, as I know them, they want clarity.
Mm,
They want, I've spoken about clarity. Then they also need to be,
I like
you
that.
also need to show confidence. So how now
Mm,
go about it? A lot of people, you see people speaking more about their responsibilities on their CVs, on
mm,
LinkedIn. You say, oh, I lead marketing communication, I do events, I do branding, I do a lot of things, I do content. These for me are mere responsibilities. I would suggest or advise that you lead with outcomes instead. What have you done? For example, if you say you do marketing strategy, you should be able to say that for XYZ clients, I led strategy for them that moved them from this number to that number.
mm,
So outcomes over responsibilities. A lot of CVs are flawed outcomes with responsibilities. I do this, I do this, I do this. What have you achieved?
mm,
In local balance, and who say and so? So you do this, everybody does it. Everybody can put it on their CV. But what
Yeah.
is the outcome? What have you done? So try to use
Mm.
numbers where possible. If you have global employers love numbers. So when you speak to numbers, you speak to that you move the share of market from 10% to 25%, or from XYZ number to XYZ number. If you're a communication strategist, instead of saying that you've done media plan for a lot of 10 clients, you say you moved awareness numbers from 5% to 7%. People who are in communications know they will know what it means to move awareness by 2%.
Yeah.
So these are numbers. You need to communicate numbers. Numbers are very, very, very important. You improved something, by how much did you improve it? You need to keep your storytelling very, very tight. It has to be tight. What is the problem you solved? What did you do? And what was the result? Furthermore, you need to speak in global language. You alluded to it to say, oh, people, the balance is not the same. There are nuances. You
Yeah.
need to avoid heavy local slangs, jargons at times. And when I see people writing in jargons, I see them trying to show off and showboat. Keep
Yeah.
simple, keep very clean. It helps. Attention on digital media is very expensive. From the last time I checked, so a lot of people want to say a lot of things. You have a lot of paragraphs here and there. What matters most is, are people able to hear you in the short time that they have? If they are not able to, I don't know. I don't know what it might just be a waste of time for you.
Mm.
You need to be consistent. You need to try and connect with people. You respond, you engage. You have to be human. You share content, but it has to be useful content. You don't just share
Yeah.
content for the purpose of sharing content, not noise, not vibes, just value. Focus on value. So basically,
Mm.
that's what I think Africans can do to communicate global value, because we need to, if you're trying to go global, you need to behave like people who are already global.
Yeah.
Most importantly, I want to rehash it. Numbers are very, very important. Don't focus on, oh, I am the head of communication in SunTrust Bank. And so what? Anybody can be. What have you done in your time in that role? So let's focus more on showing our outcomes, and then when doing that, use numbers basically.
Mm.
When you combine
Thank
these
you.
elements, I'm sure people will remember you globally.
Thank you for sharing. Just highlighting the value of using stories in showing your results. People are more keen about outcomes and not necessarily, just obligations. People are keen about outcomes. If you're able to show outcomes, you'll stand a better chance in getting global opportunities. So my next question at this time is, you sort of talked about storytelling, right? And so, over the couple of years in your career, you've been able to bridge creativity and strategy throughout your career. So, how can professionals combine these two to sort of build a compelling career narrative that would also open doors for them?
Okay, so first off for me is you need to start with your anchor. What is your anchor? What is that thing that drives your work? If you can identify what drives your work, it becomes a narrative basically. It writes everything. If you remember when I was mentioning my brand statements, I said I love storytelling, I love data, and I love outcomes.
Yes.
Those are my anchors. So they now drive everything I do. If you are able to identify your anchor, that's what I try to call it. It becomes your narrative spine. It becomes everything you do feeds off your anchor. And creativity, most times, like I wrote a post sometime that creativity is not thinking out of the box most of the times.
Yeah.
It's about doing the basic things well.
Yeah.
What kind of visuals are you using? What kind of analogies are you using? Is your language as simple? Is your story digestible? That's how you become creative. So we love putting creativity is when you speak jargon like the former House of Rep member, you speak a lot of things people don't understand. They have to use dictionary to understand you. That's not creativity.
Mm.
You have to be simple. Creativity is simplicity.
Yeah.
And then I want to also remember this again: numbers show evidence, show working. Numbers don't lie, they say. So when you speak a lot of grammar, people are trying to understand you. But when you're using numbers, it
Yeah.
becomes easy. What projects have you done? What are the numbers you delivered? Are there testimonials? Let's also not forget that strategy or whatever creativity is not complete without proof.
Yeah.
If you have the best strategy, you know you want to hang the billboard in heaven. If there's no proof of it, of the execution, proof of results for the client, you've not done anything.
Mm.
And finally, on this, you need to stay consistent.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people, there are different people on LinkedIn, there are different person on their CV, there are different person when they go for interviews. Their content structure is different from who they are.
Mm.
You struggle. You
Yeah.
jump on LinkedIn, the person is a professional. You go on Twitter, he's a political warlord, dragging everybody that posts anything about the current government. If you go on IG, the person is will I say, an alpha male.
Mm.
There's no consistency in content. And trust me, you know that the digital world is a global world. People can see at once. There's
Yeah.
no, oh, you're not hiding inside your room. What you do on Instagram, on Twitter, and on LinkedIn, people can see them in one view.
Yeah.
So you need to be a little bit consistent in whatever you do. Don't confuse people, and ensure that your creative direct for creativity is not doing thinking outside the box. You can think within the box and still be creative. But
Fantastic.
basically, I want to keep reaction this: show evidence, show working, show working.
Mm, fantastic. I like how you talked about the whole creativity thing and then talking about consistency. I think you've already started answering my next question. We would definitely be like, how can, whether it's like a corporate brand or a personal brand, what makes the person sort of stand out? I know you've sort of highlighted a couple of things, which is like you don't have to be creative, you have to be consistent. Are there other elements to it that sort of helps like a corporate brand or a personal brand stand out?
Okay, regardless of the kind of brand you are, uh, we're all in digital space. We're playing. I've mentioned it earlier. Attention is very expensive. The brands that stand out today that I know are the ones who have respect for people's time. You can overclock people's time, have them spending hours trying to understand what you're saying. Brands like that don't go far from my experience. I know that from my experience. So brands that go far are the ones that are consistent. You can't be saying this here and saying the next thing here. It causes a trust issue. People struggle to understand who you are. Then the brands that also go far are brands that connect to people, brands that respond, brands that engage, brands that have a human feel to them. I know in the financial sector, there's this brand, I think it's Piggyvest. They are always going viral because of the kind of posts they put out. Uh, Chicken Republic, for example, they are also like, let me finish with Piggyvest. When salary week, they are coming to you as human and say, I know you're about to go and flex, so
Mm-hmm.
better know that January is 45 days. They are human, they are connecting, they are not a distant brand.
Mm,
Tony Elumelu is a typical example of a human brand that connects with people.
yeah,
He's up there, but he's close. He seems close. He's not reachable, but he feels reachable.
yeah,
So brands that do that are brands that stand out. Is same thing with humans. I know that we want to segregate. Oh, this person is not my level. I'm now a manager. I post on LinkedIn. I only respond to people who are verified. I don't bother about people who are not verified because they're not in my age grade per se.
yeah.
Brands need to start connecting with people. Connection is very, very important for brands. Human brands, product brands, service brands. You need to connect people. And then people are not out there looking for trash. They are looking for useful content. So brands that put out useful content are also brands that excel.
Yeah.
It's not about the noise, it's not about vibes, it's not about value. And also brands that pay attention to visuals. Visual is very important. There's a place of clean layout, neat photos, good design is important. You go on post LinkedIn, you see them using pictures of 1999 in 2025. There's a disconnect. So people look at you and then you might be the best to do the work, but your look and feel is not saying the same. So people just pass over you and move on. So people, brands, service brands, product brands, they need to pay attention to visuals. I see a lot of tacky work out there. I know, no disrespect to anybody, but a lot of Shomolu designers out there trying to design things that don't connect. You go, you go on people's billboard messaging, you see, look at they are writing lines that you have to come to the billboard and pack and take your time to read before you continue. It has to be clean. And brands
Yeah.
that excel in that stand out, they use credibility cues. I call them credibility cues because they are results, they are testimonials, they are real outcomes that you can feel. They are not outcomes that that look far or distant. Just mere numbers, moving awareness from 5% to 7%. These are real outcomes. These are real testimonials. That's why LinkedIn has a function where people can give testimonials. You can request for reference. People will say good things about you. It's not by a stroke of
Recommendation.
luck that they do it. Recommendation. They know it works because people go and look at who you've worked with, especially when they are credible. And if they are saying good things about you, then you have to be good. When you combine these elements as a brand, whether you're a human brand, whether you're a service brand, product brand, people would always remember you and you will stand out. But do not forget in everything you do that in this space, attention is very expensive. You need
Hmm.
to save people time for them to remember you. That's the honest truth.
Fantastic. From what you've said, I think that one of the takeaways from that particular question is that attention is the new gold, and anybody showing up online to stand out, you have to show up with commensurate value and also make those
Excellent.
values visible to probably your next client, your next employer. You should be People should be able to find the things that you've done over time. Thank you so much for sharing that. My very next question to you at this time is: with the rise of remote work and sort of like global recruitment, what would you say are some of like the top skills that will matter, particularly for Africans, to enable them to secure um, international roles, whether it's like soft skills or hard skills, within the next 2 3 years? What are the paramount skills that Africans should sort of focus on?
This for me is a very tricky question because 5 years ago I remember that we used to tell everybody, oh, you need to learn a digital skill, learn
Yeah,
cyber security, learn AI. Realistically today, those
yeah.
people who pushed into AI and digital skills are the ones who are out of jobs. The
Mm.
tailor is not out of job yet, and
Wow.
AI will not take the tailor's job.
I didn't see that coming.
The tailor is not out of job. The organizer is not out of job. The artisans are not
Hmm.
out of jobs. People who are out of jobs are the people who code, people who build
Mm.
apps. AI machines build and code faster and cleaner than
Yeah.
humans today. So that industry is threatened as we speak. There's a lot of retrenchment going on in the industry. People are AI is doing work of 20 people at once. So it becomes a risky advice to give people. I'm scared. People approach me and ask me, "Oh, what do I learn? What do you think I should do?" I don't even know what to tell them. I'll give you an example. I just recently recorded a full radio jingle with AI. I didn't get to visit any studio. I didn't get to hire a voiceover artist. I didn't do any of that. I wrote my script, fed into AI, and it produced. If I play it today to you, you will be shocked. So what happens to
Oh,
the person who has trained their voice over the years to say, "Oh, I want to do voiceover"? What happens to the producer? I know a friend, Eclipse Nkasi, very talented young man who has done a full music album with AI.
yeah, I
So the
feel like
question
that.
now becomes, where are we going in the next 5 years, 3 to 5 years? It's a risky thing. Everybody on the call, don't take me hook, line, and sinker when I give this advice, because people I advised 5 years ago are now asking me that I led them to their death. So, but I will still try to say that AI is here. It's changing a lot of things. However, people who survive in 3 to 5 years are people who are agile digitally.
Yeah,
You need to have what we call tech comfort. Tech comfort is that you're comfortable using AI tools. You know how to use virtual workspaces. You know how to read dashboards. You know how to interpret new tools, and very quickly at that. I'll give an example. Today when you brief AI to do something, and when I brief AI, the outcome is always different. You would never
yes,
know that I used AI. Two people can use AI and get different results. It's garbage in, garbage out.
yeah,
There's a course called AI briefing that people are taking, AI prompting.
yeah,
Only people who are comfortable, and you have to embrace that this has come to stay. It's not going anywhere. It can only get better. So the quicker we start being agile digitally and then being comfortable with tech, the better for us.
mm,
Start learning the AI tools. You hear there's a new one coming up, you quickly move and try to understand how it works. How can you use it faster before the next one comes? If you're not that agile, trust me, in the next 3 5 years, you'll be out of work. Next set of skill I want people to look at in the next 3 to 5 years is to be data literate.
yes,
Dashboards drive everything now. Live dashboards. People are seeing everything in real time. Are you able to understand the dashboards? Are you able to draw insights from these dashboards? Are you able to pull out and pull reports that have value, even at a very basic level? It mustn't be advanced. A lot of people don't see value in all of those things. So you need to try chase data literacy. It is important. It is very, very important. Then we're looking for jobs outside of this country. How much of cultural intelligence, how much of what is happening in America do you know?
yeah,
If you say you want to work for Americans, you want to work for Russians, how much of what is happening in their country do you know? So people who are able to study different cultures, different backgrounds would excel.
mm,
People want to save time and money training you, so they're already comfortable when you say you know a lot of things about their culture, about their country, about their product.
yeah,
So cross-cultural intelligence will be important in the next 3 to 5 years. You mentioned remote work. Oh, it depends on discipline and initiative. That's the honest truth, because we saw it during COVID, where people would wake up in the morning, go to the market, buy food, come back, cook a goosey, cook rice, sleep, while work is going on.
mm,
So for the next 3 to 5 years, people who can adapt, can manage themselves. These are soft skills. Remember what I'm telling you now are soft skills, not even technical skills.
yeah,
You need to develop these soft skills to adapt for the future. If you don't, if you're one who is lazy, who can be lax, work is going on, you're not even bothered, you're not concerned, deadlines come, you miss them every time, nobody will hire you. If they hire you, they'll fire you in 1 week.
yeah,
And then something that also seems very simple, but it would become extremely important in the next 3 to 5 years. Let me say 3 to 5 years is, how are you able to communicate clearly? Can you
yeah,
write clear emails? I know a lot of people go to ChatGPT now to write emails, and then they dump it on it. It's a machine. It's easy to know. Anybody that looks at it knows that this has done by AI.
yeah.
Can you present? AI will not present. That's another job AI will never do. You can't present to clients.
Yeah,
AI can help you write a beautiful PowerPoint document, but can
yeah,
AI present it for you? No. While you're presenting, can AI think for you on your feet? No. So you need to be able to develop some structured thinking. You need to be able to think critically, think on your feet. Good employers want people who learn fast and collaborate well, not just people who are lax or who are in the past. So basically, while I won't encourage anybody to go into tech like I did the last 5 years and I'm regretting now. If you're able to do this, I think 3 or 4 things that I mentioned. I think I mentioned digital agility and being tech
Yeah.
comfort. You have to develop some literacy in data. You
Yeah.
have to be culturally knowledgeable.
Yeah.
You also have to be able to be responsible. Remote work is coming, but you have to be responsible to. You have to be disciplined. You have to have initiative to drive
Yeah.
remote work. And then can you present? Can you write properly? Can you think on your feet? If you're able to do 3 or 4 of these things, I'm sure you'll be ready for the future. But please don't learn tailoring,
Fantastic.
please. I didn't say that because I said they are safe. They are not that safe like that.
Fantastic. I the angle through which you came to answer that question, I didn't see that coming. Just saying, as
Mm.
much as people are learning cybersecurity and all those kinds of things, please understand the basics, which is like communication, critical thinking, being analytical, knowing how to take initiative, right, and data literacy. And I saw that coming because right now there's nothing you really want to do in making critical decisions without understanding data's patterns and trends. That really helps a
Yeah.
lot with decision making. So yeah, thank you so much sort of sharing that with us. My very next question to you at this time is, um, for most person, you talked about LinkedIn prior, right? For most persons, they're not really conversant or comfortable even sharing on LinkedIn, and many people feel like they're invisible on LinkedIn or other professional platforms. What would you say are like simple, let's say, 3 practical branding steps they can take right now to sort of help boost their visibility on those professional platforms?
Branding steps to build visibility. Okay, so first off is reputation today is no longer an offline thing, it's now online. And the work you do is part of your digital footprints, basically.
Yeah.
So it's let me start from the most mundane thing.
Okay.
Avoid online fights.
Okay.
Most times we are correct, we are right. We want to prove that this person is not right. I'm correct. I'm the one that knows it all. Please, my advice. It's very mundane, but it's one of the biggest killers of. You need to start from there. It's simple. It's within you. You don't need any skill. You don't need to be knowledgeable. You don't need a master's degree to avoid fights. I know most times you think you're right, but the screenshots they say the internet never forgets. So
Yeah.
you fought somebody 5 years ago online. You might be right in your fight, but the screenshot they've taken about you is what would stop you from making remarkable progress in future. Be careful with impulsive posts. I know we see impulsive posts and then people just want to jump on it. I want to start with this because it's impulsive and it doesn't seem like it's important. When people search for you, what do they see? Posts that you've
Mm,
done uh, 10 years ago. So the first step for me, the first step I want to advise everybody is first of all, review your footprint. What do you even look like online? When people search for
mm,
you on X, what do they see? Are there old tweets that are implicating of you? Are there posts that are controversial? My advice to you is clean them up first.
mm.
You can't start building on a faulty background. You can start building on faulty foundation. If your foundation is faulty, you can't build anything remarkable. I know people who have started building things. They've done a lot of good things.
Yeah.
They have remarkable followership online, and then one day something they've done 20 years ago comes up online, and it
Mm,
destroys their reputation. So first of all, before you start, my advice is to review your footprint online first. What have you done in the past that would haunt you? When you're done with that, then the next thing is you need to start building goodwill. Basically, people don't. It doesn't cost you anything to build goodwill, to support others, to celebrate people, to be respectful with your engagement. It pays back. I've mentioned
yeah.
earlier, consistency is also very important. is the biggest brand asset for me. Consistency across all platforms, across times, you're consistent. Also try and be teachable. So you're looking for jobs in the global space. These people are looking for people who are able to learn very fast and adapt.
Yeah.
So it's a question of you first of all cleaning up. You need to clean up. It is very, very important that you clean up. If you don't clean up, then trust me, everything you're building is on faulty foundation. So I think these steps, if you take these steps, I think you would go really far.
Mm. Fantastic, fantastic. The chats are buzzing. We have so many people having a nice time in the chat session. They're getting so much value from they're getting so much value from what you're what you're sharing, the nuggets you're sharing. And I think this would be like more or less like our final question for today. The question is around for those looking to extend their opportunities globally, how important is a formal education or a higher education? Say, for instance, like an MBA or even an industry certification when combined with strong personal brand.
Okay, that's important. That's important. But I want to before I okay. So let me maybe I'll save that for my final word. So MBA is good, formal education is good, but it will never replace your personal branding.
Mm.
It can only
So it's a
amplify it.
combination.
Yes, it's a
Mm.
it only
Mm.
amplifies it. So MBA is good. It will strengthen your brand. It would you have to show I have an MBA, I have a PhD, I have an MSc, but people don't use this sense properly. So I'll give you an example. So a lot of people don't use the MBA to sharpen their thinking. So in the era of ChatGPT, of AI tools, people just want to pass and end the MBA. However, if you're able to improve your strategy, your analytics thinking with MBA, employers will love it.
Yeah.
And then people just get MBA for MBA sake. I tell you one thing: if you're able to show how what you apply or what you learn in your MBA is able to be applied in real life issues, trust me, you
Yeah.
will stand the difference. I'll give an example. When I was my first class with the people at the American Intercontinental University, someone asked me, "Say, why am I here?" And I told the lecturer, I said, "I want to be able to walk out of this classroom and walk straight into the boardroom at SunTrust and apply what I've learned. I want to be able to bring problems from our boardroom into this classroom and take solutions out."
Mm.
And trust me, that's the mindset I set into, and it has worked like magic. So for everything I am learning, I'm asking myself, how am I able to apply this
Yeah.
tomorrow, not next week, tomorrow?
Yeah.
Is there a problem that is existing in the boardroom in some trust that I can apply this thinking, this theory, this principle to and solve it? And I've been doing it. So people need to start thinking of how MBAs can translate into real life solutions. The MBA also helps you with network. There's a lot of networking opportunities. Your classmates are from America, from the countries that have denied you visa for the longest. Your classmates are from there. Your lecturers are from there. And then there's also an alumni network that you can always leverage. They are part of your brand. So the more people know that this is what you're going into MBA to get, it's better for you, especially when you're doing it globally.
Mm.
And then you need to pair it with consistent content. MBA is not just for paper. The world needs to see what you're turning into. You're learning how to. Currently, one of my courses is law. I've never read law in my life, and I'm now able to interpret. Okay, this is what this person is talking about. This is what the company secretary has been talking about all along. It's just applicability of what you're learning. And then I know that for some people who are not able to go on MBAs, it's not the end of the world. MBAs, I've been working for donkey years and I'm just running my MBAs. But in that time, what have I done? I've used certifications to fill gaps, I've been on a lot of short courses. I've done courses on digital marketing, AI prompting, like I said, product development, media strategy, advertise, just everything. I've done a lot of short courses here and there while I wait for the MBA. I didn't want to wait for the MBA to have this done. So my advice to people who are listening is that if you're not able to get an MBA in the immediate, There are some courses that you can do to improve yourself. It mustn't be an MBA, it mustn't be a master's, even though they are important. They broaden your view of life, your view of how things are done in the world. But if you're unable to get this today, please ensure that you're taking short courses that are relevant to your profession. That starts with knowing who you are. If you're on your LinkedIn profile, you're saying that you're a marketing strategist, you're a UI UX designer, you are a footballer. You're not sure where to focus your short course on. So you're just doing anything that comes. You see some people who are lawyers taking ICANN because that's the next thing that came in their way. So you need to have a direction, you need to have clarity to be able to decide, okay, where am I leading to? Even in the MBA, there are specializations that you need to focus on. Some are doing marketing, MBA, human resources, and things like that, account and finance, people still like that. So you need to know where you're going to before you can decide on your steps with MBA.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that. Everything you shared on this session today was really insightful. And like I said earlier, the chat has been buzzing. People just giving their feedback, stating how much this session has been impactful and so insightful to them as well. So, Mr. Chinonso, thank you so much for being our guest today on the Future Forward African Professionals series. It was such a delight to have you here today with us. We are appreciative of your time and also sharing your expertise with our community today.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
All right. And so, everyone, thank you so much for joining today, and thank you for staying from the beginning of the session until the end of the session. Please do share this broadcast with your family and friends. We believe that this is a very integral session today, particularly at the end of the year, and for so many people trying to plan towards their next year. For every professional that you know, please share this with them because we believe that this would also sort of help them in setting out for their 2026. I remember when we started out this conversation, one of the major things that Mr. Chinonso talked about was clarity. So I believe that this particular session will definitely help any professional that is trying to gain clarity in terms of assessing global opportunity and also advancing their career. Thank you everyone for being with us here tonight. Do have a lovely evening. Bye for now.
Thank you, everybody.